In this series of short videos, I'm going to walk you through a technique I like to use with my clients. Prototyping comes straight out of the world of design thinking, which has been popular among product designers for a while, and more recently has been applied to designing other less tangible things like services and user experiences. In this first video, I am going to define what I mean by prototyping and why it's a valuable technique. In the next video, I'll show you how prototyping might look as a coach. And in the last video, I tie prototyping back to two of the coaching processes we've learned, so you can see how versatile the technique is and how it fits in with what you already know. So what is prototyping? Essentially, prototyping is playing pretend with purpose. Sometimes clients come to you seeking change, but may get stuck because the changes are really big and really scary. Your client may feel as if there is no way they can get to where they want to be. And from the examples I'm going to go into next, you'll see that prototyping really works as a way to safely test out ideas or desired changes in a meaningful way. I believe that it's a valuable way for clients to gather information so they can make better decisions. You are probably already familiar with the idea that companies try out different versions of a product or even the packaging before they begin mass production. You can do this with life decisions too. I've seen this work professionally and I've done it personally too. A woman I know tells the story of how she came to retire in a small town on the California coast. She and her husband were considering a lot of different places to choose for retirement. They looked at the numbers, population size, median home prices, etc., and they gained some information, but it only took them so far. They knew they could spend a weekend in some of their places, but that would only provide the quote tourist experience. The only way to really get a sense of what it was like to live there was to, well, live there. They were able to find a connection of a connection who did live in one of their target cities. And this person offered to have them come stay at her house while she was on vacation. So this allowed the couple to come close to the real-world experience of living in the community without using up a lot of time and a lot of money. My partner is a designer in a healthcare company, and they were trying to figure out ways to improve the patient experience. And in particular, the waiting at the door after your appointment. You've checked in for your appointment and you're waiting for the doctor to call you back. Sometimes it can be a while. So one idea was to create outdoor spaces that were inviting so that patients would have a more pleasant experience waiting while they were waiting. They actually built a life-sized model and invited real patients in for real care. And when the patients checked in, they were given a pager that would let them know to come to the clinic door. What they found, however, was that even if they knew the approximate wait time and had the beepers, patients remained anchored to that door. So back to the drawing board they went, armed with some important insights. I did a similar thing when I was thinking about becoming a coach. I wasn't going to quit my day job and invest in a coaching program without doing a little homework. I prototyped what it would be like to be a coach by having conversations and conducting interviews. I talked to coaches, I talked to coaching students, and I started writing blog posts and other articles to see whether anyone wanted what I thought I could offer. In fact, I'm still prototyping. I started down one path with one niche in mind, but now, after having some great conversations with some of you and some other entrepreneurs, I'm thinking I may add a business strategy package to my offerings. To test it out, I used a different method of prototyping. I used polling. I found groups on Facebook where my ideal clients lived, and I wrote out 3 versions of my elevator pitch: transition strategies, business strategies, and a hybrid version. I asked people to give me feedback on which of these resonated. Now I'm shifting my model from the one I had for months to something that I didn't even know I could offer or that would even have value. In the next video, I'll talk about some different ways to conduct prototyping and how to get the conversation started with your clients. So stay tuned.